friends, I hope you are well and having a beautiful day so far. Today I'm super excited to do a little baking. I have 2 recipes that I found on Pinterest that I've never made before. So we're in this together. Hopefully they'll turn out okay. And these recipes are Easter and spring inspired and they are so adorable. So the first one are bunny buns, and this is a puff pastry cinnamon sugar creation in the shape of a bunny. How precious is that? And then the second one I saw on Pinterest, it claimed to be the best chocolate chip cookies ever. So that's a pretty big statement. So we'll be the judge of that. And chocolate chip cookies are my #1 favorite dessert of all time. So I wanted to give them a try. And for that recipe, kind of the spring Easter twist is that you add in some of these pastel M&Ms. And there's something about M&Ms and cookies that's just so delicious. So I'm really looking forward to those, but I think they will both be a fun little treat to enjoy for the spring season. So let's get right into it. I'm actually going to start making the chocolate chip cookie dough first because the recipe actually instructs you to freeze the dough for an hour just so that I guess it can kind of firm up before you bake it. So that's what we're gonna do, and then once the dough is in the freezer, we'll get started on our bunny buns. So it's gonna be a fabulous day, and I'm excited to bake with you all. Okay, here is the first recipe. Look at this picture. This is what sold me. Oh my goodness, they look so delish. And hopefully ours will look as good as hers. This is from the blog Mom on Timeout. So I'll link her blog post and recipe in the description, as well as the other recipe as well. One thing you're gonna wanna do beforehand to prep for this recipe is set out your butter and an egg, and she just instructs you to put it at room temperature. So I usually forget to set it out a while before I start baking. So that's why I place mine in the sun for a little bit, because that just kind of speeds up the warm-up process. And worst case scenario, you can just pop the butter in the microwave for about 5 seconds and it'll soften up a bit. Okay, here are all of our ingredients. Pretty standard cookie ingredients, but one kind of unique one she included is cornstarch, which I've never used when baking cookies, but she said this makes them kind of extra chewy. So I'm interested to see how that has an effect on the cookies. Also, random side note, if you're looking for a good playlist or just kind of soundtrack to accompany your baking experience, I highly recommend listening to 50s love songs. They are some of my favorite songs ever, and I actually have a 50s love song playlist, so I'll link that in the description as well. But it's really so much fun when baking, and I've also been really into peaceful piano lately, so can't go wrong with either of those two. First step is to cream together the butter and sugars. Added in the egg and the vanilla extract, and it calls for a whole tablespoon of vanilla, which is a ton of vanilla extract. So, I mean, I love vanilla, I'm not complaining, but it's just a little surprising. So maybe that's why they're so good, because there's so much vanilla. Seriously just made it snow when I was opening up this cornstarch. It's seriously everywhere. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna need a vacuum for this cleanup. I should have used a bigger bowl. I'm almost overflowing in this one. Now it's time to gradually mix in our dry ingredients with our wet ones. One of my favorite parts, we get to fold in the chocolate chips and the M&Ms. Okay, so the chocolate chips I have are kind of an eclectic mix of chocolate because I just have this jar and I added in like a bunch of half open chocolate bags I have. So in here I have some chocolate chunks, dark chocolate chunks, some semi-sweet chocolate chips, and some milk chocolate. So we're really just getting a little bit of everything, but definitely just use your favorite kind of chocolate chips. And then the M&Ms I got are the milk chocolate pastel ones. Oh wow, those smell amazing. Oh my goodness, guys, this looks unreal. Wow, my mouth is watering, and you better believe I'm gonna try some of the cookie dough.
I am my heart's only owner.
Someone just got to the kitchen at the perfect time.
Or at least I used to be.
Alright, you wanna get a spoon?
Cause now
Does this have the peanut butter ones in it?
No, just regular.
Oh.
Peanut butter would be really good in this though, probably.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a look at the cookie dough bite.
The Dollar Treats.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I wish I could share with Palmer, but that's a big no-no. All right, ready? Hopefully it's good. It looks good. Disgusting. They can't even see your face. It's too zoomed in. He was being dramatic, acting like it was disgusting. Yeah, there you go.
It was very good. Thank you.
Woohoo! Okay, my turn.
You haven't tried it?
No,
I'm
my
not
mouth
hard to
is
believe.
actually watering. It hurts. Okay, ready? Mmm. It's so good. You gonna try it with the peanut butter one?
Yeah.
He grabbed one of these peanut butter filled M&Ms over here, and he's trying it with the cookie dough. No, you try it. Is that just so sickeningly good? Yay. This is truly such a beautiful sight. So the next step is to form it into little cookie balls. Okay, here they are, so beautiful, and I still have quite a bit of dough left, and instead of just pulling out another baking sheet and baking them all now, I'm actually just gonna roll them up into balls and add them into a little Tupperware and stick that in the freezer and then bake them later this weekend on actual Easter. So that's the plan, because we really don't need all of these cookies now, and we can just have more to share with family this weekend. Someone really wants some cookies. He's even doing his tricks, trying to win me over. Ready, sit, down, okay, back up, good boy, sit, shake, good boy, good boy. Okay, now that our cookie dough is in the freezer, ready to bake in an hour, I am gonna get started on the bunny buns, which just do yourself a favor and say the words bunny buns. You can't say it without smiling. It's just a mood boost. But yeah, I'm gonna get started on that. We might be able to finish that because you can freeze the cookie dough for over an hour. It doesn't have to be exactly an hour, but she said an hour at minimum. So we're just gonna go ahead and do our bunny buns, and then we'll bake the cookies after that. And some kind of random tools that'll help you for this recipe are a pizza cutter. So you're gonna need this to cut the puff pastry into strips. And then also, I'm not even sure what this is called, to be honest, but it's like a little butter brush. That's kind of what I call it. But basically, it's really helpful. We're gonna be melting butter and then spreading it along the pastry puff, and this is just a really great tool. But if you don't have one of these, you could possibly just use your fingers, or you could use a really clean paintbrush if you're really trying to be resourceful. So try to find something to help you with that, but let's pull out all of our ingredients and get started. Okay, so we have our puff pastry all spread out, and then we have our melted butter, and she said to spread the melted butter over both puff pastries, but leave ½ an inch on both ends without the butter. So that's kind of what she said, and I need to double check if we're supposed to butter it on both sides, but I'm pretty sure it's just this side. Our butter on, we have our cinnamon sugar, and the next step is to brush some water along the edges, so the part where we didn't put the butter, and then we're gonna flip this pastry over on top of it, so it's kind of like sandwiching the cinnamon and sugar. And then we're gonna take our fork and kind of crimp it so that they bond together. Here we have it. Our next step is to take our pizza cutter and slice it into 16 super thin strips. This is the part I'm worried about or nervous about. And the next part I'm a little nervous about too, but we got this, we can do it. Maybe I should count the little ridges I have at the bottom to see how I should divide it to be 16. I think I'm gonna do that. I think I'm gonna be so extra and precise. Okay, here are our strips. I did pretty good. I added up all of these little rivets and it equaled 40, so I divided it by 16, and it was 2.5 if I wanted 16 pieces. So I kind of counted, okay, what's 2.5 little rivets, and then that's kind of how I made it 16. This one on the end's a little rough looking, but I'm pretty pleased with it. And now it's time to do the bunny shape. So that's, I mean, I'm sure it's not that complicated. I'm probably overthinking it, but this is the shape we want it to look like. So you have to put it on its side and then twist it twice. So let's give it a go. I'm gonna start with this end piece because it's kind of messed up anyways. So if I mess up, it won't be a super big deal. Yeah, this part doesn't have that much cinnamon on it. I'll just do it on the counter so you guys can see. Okay. So you do it, so you see the cinnamon, and you just twist it. Okay, that is super easy. Well, I thought, yeah, I think that's it. This one's just a little weak looking because this one doesn't have too much cinnamon on it. Let me give another one a go that's a bit more cinnamony. Oh no, you don't really see the cinnamon that much in mine. Hers are so cinnamony. Oh boy. Okay, twist one, twist two. Oh, okay, the cinnamon's kind of coming out to play more. Maybe I pressed mine in too much. Maybe I should separate it a little bit. I'm like doing surgery on this poor little bunny. Okay, cute. That one looks better. My tip for you would to not press in your two puff pastries together too much, because I kind of sealed them a little bit too much so you don't really see the cinnamon. I kind of have to pull it apart to see the cinnamon. So learn from my mistakes, but it's actually super easy to twist it.
was always on fire. Our house, our dream.
Okay, this is what they look like before we put them in the oven.
Dancing on a wire, reckless it seems.
And this is how they look after. Oh my goodness, they're cute. They smell nice too. Oh wow, yum. Okay, now it's time to put this yumminess in the oven. Okay, while our cookies are baking, I figured I would fix us up a nice refreshing beverage to enjoy while we do our little taste test. So some people may think chocolate chip cookies and milk is the best combo, but for me, it's chocolate chip cookies and iced coffee. So I'm gonna whip some up right now. Incredible. Wowza. I made them nice and big too. Oh my goodness. Yum. Okay, I think they've cooled enough, so I'm gonna take one off of the baking sheet. And of course, I'll do one of those satisfying little cookie where you break it in half and seal the chocolate. Okay, look at this beauty. Let's just take a moment to appreciate this cookie. Oh my goodness, okay, wow. It's very like greasy and gooey. All right, here we go. Okay, that wasn't as smooth as planned because it's basically crumbling in my hands. But wow, look at this. Okay, I have to take a bite because it's just gonna fall off. Wowza. That is so good. She said the best chocolate chip cookie ever, and she might be right. I may have to say and agree with her that this is the best chocolate chip cookie ever. Wow. Okay, so for our little bunny buns, the recipe actually calls for icing, and she put a dollop of icing right here as like the little bunny tail. But instead of icing, I'm just gonna do whipped cream because I just thought that'd be really easy because I can get that perfect like dollop shape and it'll be a little lighter option. So that's what I'm gonna do, but of course you can go with whipped cream, icing, whatever works best for you and what sounds the most delicious. So stinking cute. Oh my goodness. And with the whipped cream, you're gonna wanna serve these right away just because, you know, it's whipped cream, and I just put whipped cream on some of them, and the other ones I'm just gonna store in a Tupperware. And then once I serve them again, I can add the whipped cream right beforehand. For the best iced coffee time of your life.
Iced coffee plus.
Iced coffee plus, that's right. You got some big treats. You want to grab the coffee before my hand was shaking.
Oh my gosh. Oh
I know. Okay, so this is like the best thing ever. And then this.
Yes. That's what we had the cookie dough of, and that was quite.
Yeah, the cookie dough was amazing, and the cookie turned out really well, I will say.
It's nice and.
And then this is just 10 out of 10 cuteness, but the taste is just like very bready because it's the puff pastry and a little bit of cinnamon. Oh, this smells so good. So you want to do a little taste test?
Oh, that's a bunny?
It doesn't look like a bunny. That's the whole point. And that's its tail. It's in a bunny shape. He says, oh, that's a bunny. That's the whole point. You don't see it.
This is his tail, so the bunny is like that?
No, this is just the ears. It's just the shape of a bunny. Guys, do you think it looks like a bunny? I think it looks like a bunny. You don't think it? Use your imagination. Oh my gosh.
I don't know. Whoa.
I brought you a spoon because it's so gooey. Is it good? Isn't it amazing?
Warm cookie dough.
Yeah, warm. I needed to let it cool more, but I already had some. I'm sugared out. Yeah, I didn't really let it cool that much, but that's my favorite when it's still super warm from the oven.
That is very good. Here.
I already had that too. It's all for you.
I'm gonna eat the tail.
It's very subtle sweetness,
Mm-hmm.
but it's pastry, so I mean, it's still buttery goodness, buttery flaky goodness. You
That's
like
good.
it? Which one do you like more?
The cookie?
The cookie. By a long shot.
No, it's good.
Palmer isn't able to have any of the baked goods for obvious reasons, but I'm gonna give him a little dollop of whipped cream. Here we go. Sit. Down. Good boy. Good boy. Oh yes, is that yummy? It's like a pop cup. Uh-oh, we made a mess. Here, get it. Be a little mop. As I was coming back downstairs from taking the treats up to Brandon, I was just overcome with the aromas of baked goods. It was so fabulous. I guess I just haven't really smelt it that much because I've just been in the kitchen the whole time, but from going upstairs to downstairs, it smells so good. It smells like a bakery. So I would say it was a successful little baking morning, but thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your spring season and a wonderful Easter, and I cannot wait to see you super soon. Bye!